Welcome to the Ocean Community 50 Under 50 series, presented by the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce. The road to success starts at Valenti family of auto dealerships, and visibility along the journey increases greatly with the help of 321 Media. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce's 50 Under 50 celebration, brought to you by Valenti family of dealerships. My name is Ben Barber from 321 Media, and I am excited because today's honoree is someone that I've never met before and literally have spoke to for about 30 seconds so far, and that is Jared Whewell from Pawcatuck Roofing.
Nice
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I've heard a lot about you.
Have you?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
All good things, I hope.
All amazing things. Of course, amazing things.
Great.
You're one of the 50 Under 50. Of course, it's all amazing things.
I love it.
Jared, now this is the uncomfortable part of the interview where I read the bio to you. Okay. So, well, in front, I present the bio. So I hope that you're ready and excited for this.
Sounds good. Lay it on me.
Jared Whewell, one of the co-owners of Pawcatuck Roofing Company, PRC, proudly carries on the legacy of this locally owned business as it celebrates 80 years of service in 2024.
80 years, 1946.
Wow. Founded in 1946, PRC has become a trusted name in residential, commercial, and industrial roofing throughout the region. And under Jared's leadership, the company continues to thrive with a strong reputation for excellence and community engagement. Jared's dedication extends far beyond roofing. With deep roots in the community, he believes in giving back through both corporate sponsorships and personal involvement. PRC and Jared actively support organizations such as the Pawcatuck VFW, Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce, Stonington Little League, Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center, and the Stonington and Westerly Police Departments. The company also participates in Toys for Tots and numerous other local initiatives that make a difference in the lives of others. He's a busy guy. You see what I'm saying?
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Nationally recognized for its workmanship, PRC has earned excellence awards from top distributors and manufacturers. Thanks to the strong team that Jared leads with pride and purpose, his commitment to both quality service and community support reflects the values of that the company was built on 8 decades ago. Whether it's volunteering his time, supporting local charities, or providing trusted roofing solutions, Jared brings passion and integrity to every aspect of his work. He continues to honor PRC's legacy while building on it, ensuring that the company remains not just as a leader in its field, but a valued partner in the community. Jared, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Ben.
80 years.
80 years. I look good for my age, right?
I was just going to say, you've been doing this a long time.
I've aged gracefully.
So grandfather started it?
Actually, it's a story that's sort of unique.
Okay.
I worked for the Hollands as a kid, and I came up in the commercial side of the business and started from the ground up. So I worked my way, all the way up the ladder to eventually becoming an owner. But there was a brief period of time where I actually had my own business, J&R General, and I owned it for 18 years before I merged my business into Pawcatuck Roofing. So essentially becoming, one of the co-owners of the company. Wow.
18 years. You you know what? I should say, I don't know how that's possible. I myself have done this for 20 years, so I fully understand how it's possible. You just started when you were like 11. But
yeah, so I'm about to be 44.
Yep.
And I actually started working for them right out of high school.
Yep.
And I worked for them for close to Pawcatuck, I should say, close to 6 years before I decided that it was time for me to make a different move and try to start my own business. It was reluctant at first because I was young.
Yeah.
But I managed to work my way through the growing pains of trying to create a business off the ground. There's a lot of people that were in my life at the time that also helped me along the way to help make these dreams come true. And then ended up moving back into working for Pawcatuck as a subcontractor. And then from there realized that there was probably a place for me at the table based off of the air that wasn't there in order to take over.
Yeah.
So
I love that term, the air that wasn't there. That's great.
So that's essentially, what happened for me, being able to be an owner of the company, considering that the legacy is so big.
Yeah.
It was actually Rob and Brent, their father Paul, took the company over from their uncle, and that's how far back that history goes. So Rob and Brent are both my partners.
Right.
We unfortunately lost Brent last year, but the company is still moving forward.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
How I feel like that makes it even more of an important thing for you to be there and to strengthen this, and to have that bond. And I mean, obviously you've been with it since you were 18 in some capacity. Even when you went away,
right,
you were,
I was still in the industry.
Correct. Yeah, and not far, and I'm sure friendly and all
absolutely,
of that stuff.
Yes.
As you said, it was a hard decision to walk away. What has it been like coming back?
It's been successful. It's been, we're a much bigger company than Pawcatuck's probably ever been in the in the history of the company. What I brought to the company was, for that 18 years that I had my own business, I was primarily in the commercial industry, where Pawcatuck did also commercial work, but not to the extent that I was developing relationships with in order to bring in large projects, in out of state work, working a lot in Massachusetts. We've done a lot of work in most of the northeastern states, to be honest with you. I mean,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just company wide. We're just stronger than we've ever been.
That's incredible.
Even with the loss of my partner.
Well, that is a testament to the foundation that was built, and then your ability to bring that in. Talk to me about commercial, how commercial differs from residential, because
Sure,
there's we all know how important a roof is to our home, and that it can be an expensive thing to fix, or not as expensive as you may think, or there's various things. But when you're talking about a large commercial project, that's got to be like just a massively different scale.
It is. And a lot of times with commercial work versus the residential type of companies, the end user doesn't live there. So essentially we service a lot of these commercial buildings with, recurring leak calls before they ever really move forward with an actual full production project. So on a smaller scale in the beginning, a much larger scale at the very end of it. But like I said, usually like building owners, for the most part, will try to fix something before they decide that they're just going to do the complete restoration. Whereas in like a homeowner, when your home is leaking, essentially like you're fixing it right away. You live there, it's your residence. And the process is the same. It's just like you said, a much larger scale.
Have you did you grow up here? Have you? I know that you started.
I did. I grew up in Stonington.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And what? So, what? Were you a part? I know that the company and you have a lot of initiatives for Stonington Little League and the Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center, stuff like that. Did you play any sports growing up? And
I played for the Pawcatuck Little League. I played lacrosse for Stonington High School. But for the most part, I worked.
Yeah.
I worked a lot, even through school. I mean, I
what were some of your early jobs?
Some of my earliest job was actually at Vacatore's Pizza Place, which is which is Mario's now.
Yeah.
And I worked there under Drew Vacatore, actually, as I was a dishwasher.
Nice.
That was my first job. But from there, it got me into the restaurant industry enough to realize that the repetitiveness of being able to walk out daily with money made sense to me. So I moved from dishwasher to food runner to busboy to barback to waiter to bartender.
Nice.
And so that transition, even still, I would do all of the, primarily bartend while I was still working during the day roofing. It was just another way to have money in my pocket.
Heck of a work ethic.
Yeah. I mean, my dad gave me the work ethic, honestly. Yeah. It's just, if I wanted it, I needed to work for it. And it's a hard way to learn, but it's beneficial when you finally get older.
Yeah.
You realize that he was right, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
For the most part.
Yeah. For the most part. You don't want to give them too big of a head. The initiative to give back, is that something that's been ingrained in Pawcatuck Roofing for the entire 80 years? Or, you know,
some of the things that predate, like, you know, even my existence with them, because I graduated high school in 2000. So that's about when I started working for them. So, you know, I started from the ground up. So what they were doing then, I do know that they were part of the town. You know, they would do a lot of donations to everything that they could possibly help out with. We, you know, have since continued that. I don't really know exactly everything that they used to do, but I do know that what we do now is we try to do as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have you just always felt like a big responsibility for that? Like the giving back, helping out, donating to stuff, like
especially when it comes to with children. You know, my son is 15. He came through the Pawcatuck Little League. Donations are important in order to, you know, continue that those programs. You know, there's really, everybody donates either their time or money in some capacity to allow for our town to be able to have these outlets for these children.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of that in Stonington. I mean, you know, Stonington Pee-wee's incredibly is a free league to play in for parents.
Exactly.
So that doesn't happen without businesses like yours that are willing to step in and lend a helping hand. What are some of your favorite things to do when you're not working, other than finding other avenues to work more?
No. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I almost never stop working, but when I do have the time, I mean, I love to golf. I also love to snowboard in the winter.
Nice.
I love fishing. I mean, I love going out in the ocean, just kind of relaxing by the beach. You know, I mean, for the most part, pretty much probably all the same things that everybody loves to do. but those are my favorite, you know, when it comes to, you know, especially golfing.
Where's your favorite place to golf around here?
Stonington Country Club. Okay. I am a member over there, and I love that course. Nice. Lake of Isles is another great one, which is relatively close to home.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll give the shout out to Elmridge too, because it's right here in town. And I do love the course.
Awesome. I know nothing about any of them
except
for that Lake of Isles restaurant is good.
It's excellent.
So that's really all I know about and it's a beautiful wedding venue.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've never stepped foot on a golf course.
You have to try it sometime. You probably like it.
Yeah. Well, 321 is members at Lake of Isles. I've just never been to my business partner keeps trying to get me to go out and golf, and I just have not done it. So the transition, how long ago did you make the transition from your own company back into Pawcatuck Roofing?
It was in 21.
Okay.
21. So yeah, this is our 4th year as a new Pawcatuck, we like to call it, even though it's the same company.
NPRC.
Yeah, there we go.
That's fantastic. And then, so what are some of you said your son is 15.
Yes.
Does he play any sports? Or anything, like what is?
Yeah, no, he golfs. He actually golfs for the Stonington High School. Yeah, so he loves golfing as well. He rides motocross. That's his big thing.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. So we go up to a track called Central Cycle Club. It's up in Central Connecticut.
Okay.
And you know, he rides a series up there against other kids around his age group.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so he loves that. He played baseball all through, and then he just at one point he just told me he didn't want to play anymore. I tried to convince him, and he just wouldn't. He didn't want to hear it, and that was it. Because I love baseball, so I was like, you should just keep playing. We've been, this has been almost 7 years of doing it. But you know what? It was a battle I didn't want to fight anymore.
Do you have any other children?
I do not.
Okay. Motocross is a real big thing now that doesn't get as much love as I think it should.
No, and Supercross is a big deal on TV. So it's got a history, just not directly in this town. Although there is a new track that they built in Hope Valley, Rhode Island called Buttonwood. So it is gaining some traction, but
oh, nice. I should know about that.
Yeah, it's right
like behind Stop and Shop, that area.
It's actually behind Stop and Shop.
Well, that's where Buttonwoods is, where the police station is back there, or used to be.
Okay.
That's why I assumed.
Oh yeah, that was a great assumption.
Hey, thanks. Grew up in Richmond, so.
Oh, so then there you go.
So what did it mean to you to be is this something that you expected to what was it? What did it mean to be listed as one of the 50 under 50?
I was unexpected. I didn't really, I don't know how I felt about it, because it just I heard about it on Facebook. Yeah. And somebody said, "You made it." And my friend congratulated me. I said, I was like, "Excellent. Great." Finally, some notoriety.
Well, you deserve it, man.
Thank you.
How long have you been involved? I know that Pawcatuck Roofing is a big supporter of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Was that, I assume 80 years, that was probably something that predated you coming back into the fold. But how has that relationship been for you guys?
Oh, it's been great. My business partner, Rob Holland, has some pretty strong roots with, is it Lisa?
Lisa Kinnicky, yeah.
Yeah. And so we do what we can in order to try to help with whatever the chamber would or wouldn't need as far as what Pawcatuck Roofing can offer them. Right. The roots go back pretty far. My involvement isn't as much as my partner's involvement when it comes to the chamber, but Pawcatuck Roofing essentially is involved.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite things to do in town? Are there any tentpole events in Stonington, Westerly, Mystic that you love every year, whether it's just going to the beach or, some of the festivals, some of the parties, stuff like that that's happening?
Yeah. I mean, I used to always love going to the Blessing of the Fleet. I haven't done it in a couple of years, nice. As well as the Lobster Pottery, which is great. We get a buoy down there.
Yep.
I think it's an excellent idea. It brings in a lot of tourists as well as just local traffic.
What's your favorite part about living in this area?
My favorite part about living in this area is the fact that we're directly on the ocean.
Yeah.
But also that it's easy to access almost anywhere, like New York, Boston, anywhere in Vermont,
2-hour trip either
New
way.
Hampshire.
Yep.
I mean, it's just simplistic in that sense.
It's very nice. It's a perfect, in the middle.
It is.
For all of those things.
It absolutely is.
What does the community mean to you? You obviously you grew up living in Stonington, working in Westerly. You were, you went to high school there for the little bit of the Stonington Westerly rivalry. That's always fun. What does just being a part of the community now that you're doing things, giving back to the Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center, stuff like that? What does just being a part of a community like this mean to you? Because when you're getting into the commercial side of the roofing business, and you can take big jobs out of state and go to all of the New England states, as you said,
right?
You could go anywhere, but you choose to stay here. You choose to stay in Stonington, and like grow your roots here.
Yeah.
What does the community aspect of everything mean to you?
Well, I love this community. I mean, like you had just mentioned before, I grew up here. My mother lives here. You know, we like to be able to help people, especially there's a lot of emergencies that happen, whether it's a windstorm that's blowing shingles off of a home or it's a tree that dropped on somebody's house. We like to be able to help people to kind of walk them through a process that they thought was going to be could be a little more painful than it really is. And sometimes people are pleasantly surprised, especially, I don't know if you remember, there was a hail event that had happened going back a handful of months ago, and people had a sustained.
Oh, I remember people freaked out about the hail.
They sustained a lot of damages to their home and siding and shingles, and you know, they just walking.
That was like quick too,
Yeah,
wasn't it? It was
it
like
was
10 minutes and
but it
just
was
damage.
It dropped some serious ice, and you know, it's an event that we have not really ever seen in this area.
And hopefully
never again. Yes,
Yeah.
because it was my neighbors, it was my friends, it was, you know,
Yep.
they sustained damage. They didn't understand what it meant to have to try to work with insurance companies and like what did that process look like.
Yeah.
And we tried to help as much as we could and to help people walk through that process with the insurance companies in order to submit a claim so that they could create a loss, basically. And
Right.
it's an unfortunate scenario, but
on the residential side of things, I assume that you guys work with a lot of insurance issues,
we do,
damage, stuff like that, and then also home buyers or
Yes.
sellers that need to fix the roof before they sell, or
insurance agents, you know,
Yeah.
that are looking for, they have a buyer that's looking to buy this house, but the seller doesn't want to put a new roof on it before, so they need to know how much roughly it would cost
right.
in order for them to negotiate, you know, some type of deduction
Yes.
for the most part.
That sounds so complicated. to
Yeah.
me.
So it kind of is, you know, because some of those things we just do because we have developed relationships with people. Sometimes it leads to a job and sometimes it leads to a different job. It doesn't always lead to the job that you thought you were going to get. It's just about trying to help somebody. As soon as you can help with a solution to a problem, usually that's enough for somebody. You know, they don't usually start looking in other places like, oh, I need to find another roofing company because I called and I got a voicemail and I haven't heard back from them. That's our customer service is like the most important thing to me.
That's the most important thing. I mean, it really is. How was transitioning from owning your own business for so long to now being a partner?
And
did you just fold J&R back in, or?
Yes. So basically everything that it owned just merged into and became Pawcatuck, and we just dissolved the name.
Yeah.
I love having partners, because everybody can carry a little bit of the load.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to be able to have somebody that you can talk to about a very specific problem.
Yeah.
And try to come up with a solution so that you're not the only one sole source to try to figure out a solution to the problem. That's one of the best things I think you can have when you have a partner, as long as you have cohesiveness, and we are.
That's amazing. Obviously, you know, you go into this partnership and then you unfortunately have a tragic loss of a partner. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
In that aspect, from a business perspective, that must have been difficult.
That was
on a personal level,
Yeah.
first and foremost, and then also business wise.
So they were brothers, Rob and Brent Holland. Brent, my partner, he ran all of the residential side of the business. And yeah, it was a huge blow to have him, you know, to see him on a Friday and shake his hand and in passing on our way out to find out on Monday that he was no longer with us anymore. It was like beyond shocking. It still hits me in the stomach. I mean, honestly, and so, it's been difficult because he really did. It's funny. Sometimes you don't give people the amount of credit that they deserve until suddenly they're just not there anymore. And then all these things just spring up that you didn't deal with before that you now are dealing with. And that was what somebody else was. And that's the one thing I wish I could say to him is that, you really did a lot more than I gave you credit for, man.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it now.
Well, I'm sure he's watching, and very proud of everything that you guys have done and continued to do.
Thank you.
Of course. And, that's those are the lessons that we learned the hard way. And then we, try to do our best to make sure that we tell people and appreciate people.
Yes.
And that in a way is what all of this is about, right? The 50 under 50 and acknowledging people's good work that they do. And sort of the unsung heroes of the day and people that deserve some recognition. And you certainly are one of them. I have loved this because there's a lot of people that I knew beforehand that were on the list. I didn't have anything to do with choosing the list or anything like that. But I've gotten the opportunity to interview everybody. And I think that you're, like my 15th or 16th interview that I've done so far for this 50 under 50. And while I've really enjoyed sitting down with the people that I've known well, sitting down with someone like you who I've never met before we saw each other in the lobby, it really means a lot because to get to hear your story and where you come from and, about your family and about your business and about the friendships in the business and the loss and the passion and all of that stuff, it really gives it shines a lot of light onto who you are and why you're such a special person in this community and why you deserve to be recognized as one of the 50 under 50. So
thank you.
It's been a huge honor to
I appreciate that. It's great to meet you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're a barber here in town? Ben the barber, I hear?
Yeah, I cut hair. I'm not very good at cutting hair, as you can see by no, I'm kidding. I have a great haircut from Carlos Rios.
Hey, that's my barber.
Barbershop. Nice.
That's he's been cutting my hair for 20 years.
Unfortunately, I've been wearing a hat all day thanks to Ken Collins, but Andy, that's another story for another time. This is about you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Anything you want to say to anybody before we go?
I just would thank the entire team at Pawcatuck Roofing. Each individual that works with me is essential to the company's existence. So
amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, Jared. It's been nice to get to know you.
You as well.
A well-deserved honor. One of the 50 under 50, Jared Whewell. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I want to say a huge thank you to Valenti family of dealerships for sponsoring this, and a big thank you to the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce. We'll see you next time on the 50 under 50 series. My name is Ben Barber from 321 Media. Bye for now.